Peter Thomson, he's from Scotland, and but he lived in the US for many, many years. He was an SAP engineer. And like 16, 17, 15, 16 years ago, he moved to Spain to take over some projects for SAP here. And he was living between Barcelona and Madrid for a while. And finally, he decided to stay in Barcelona. And I think that his daughters were born. He had twins. And Barcelona is kind of a crazy city for the good and the bad. And what happens with a lot of families is that they say, no, this city is too crazy to live in. It's nice. I want to be close to here, but I need a more peaceful place. So normally, when somebody's looking for something like that, they tell them to move to my area. So Peter moved to, it's not exactly my hometown, but it's just 5 k's away, which is 5 minutes driving. And Peter moved there like 14, 15 years ago. It was at the very same time he was starting to build Thomson Bike Tours. And on the weekends, he started riding with my club. That's how we met. And back then, the club was like, the rides were like, I don't know, like 20, 25 people in on a Saturday, any given Saturday, but nobody was speaking English at all. There was one English guy, and Andrew, that's an English guy living in town, and then me. And back then, Peter's Spanish wasn't so good at all. Right now, it's perfect. So he had not many people to talk to. And that's how we turned friends. That was maybe 2004, 5, 6. That was the early years. I was still working for the Bianchi distributor. And then what happened in 2010, 11, after all these years of good relationship with Peter, good friendship, it's like it was real hard. That was when the economical crisis hit so hard here in Spain. And it was real hard to sell high-end bikes. Even I was not a sales guy. I was the guy, I was working in the office, like I was the link between the sales team and the Italian headquarters. And I was doing that not just for Bianchi, I was also into the winter sports. And I was doing that for K2 Skis from Seattle. Yep. They have an office, a European office in Penzberg in Germany. And I was the guy between the Spanish sales team and the European office for K2. But again, selling high-end skis and snowboards back in 2010, 11, it was quite impossible in Spain. Nobody was spending a single money. So it was hard. To me, it was hard to report always negative things to all these headquarters. Getting back to Bianchi, because the team was really working. The sales team was really working. I had nothing to complain against these guys. But all my report was negative. It's like, guys, we're not selling because there's unemployment. There's this type of crisis. And nobody was taking that really seriously at all. So I was like, okay, maybe it's time to go. So I just asked Peter, if you have some sort of place for me, you have some sort of spot, let's say I would like to join you. I know you since 2004, so maybe 6, 7 years now. And yeah, I started as a ride leader, but then he said, maybe you can help me with relationship with brands, partners, people within the bike industry. That Peter was not really into that. And that's how I get, let's say, the full-time job, right? Getting back to the basics. We'll be ride leader in the summer, trying to work with partners through the winter, which right now it covers the entire year. Mm-hmm. And that's how it all started.